Let's go. You are tuned in to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. It's a very special edition of the Andrew Gosser Show today. It's just going to be good. Life is good. Happy to be here. Locked, loaded, ready for launch. Sweet Bee's on the way to Indiana. Kid's on his way to Wisconsin. Just life is absolutely great. And I'm so glad that everybody's tuned in. Look, we're streaming on Rumble. We're streaming on X. We're streaming on YouTube. We're even streaming on that social media platform that begins with a F, but we don't like saying the name because they censor the crap out of everything. And of course, we are always streaming at the mothership, WYAB.com. Happy to be here. It is Thursday, the 21st of August, 2025. My daughter's got a volleyball game tonight, and it's going to be lit. And if you want to be a part of the show today, the number is 601 879 0002. The text line is open. Already getting some serious texts about some topics that I wasn't planning on covering today. But if I get through the 3 pages and like 23 tabs that I've got done for show prep today, we'll get to some of those stories too. The text line is 601 879 5060. Our mission today is standard. We're here to equip the saints so you can go out there and conduct business. And today, this is just popped open, and it is what it is. Rush Limbaugh called them the feminazis, and they're at it again. And it's true. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish tears it down with her own hands. And everybody's going to go, oh, that's sexist, that's feminist. No, wisdom is always given the female noun in the Bible. So wisdom builds its own house. But if you don't follow the wisdom, you're going to tear it down. And there's so many stories out there. You've got the Texas redistricting map victory. You've got other states now planning to roll in and even increase that margin. You've got the Democrat Party in complete and total free fall. Voter registration all-time low. Positive outlook on the Democrat Party, somewhere between 19 and 30%. We've got to talk about the failing mainstream media as far as cable is concerned. Adweek is out with their ratings for last week. Got it a little bit early, and there is some just really big information there that just continues to show that shows like this are being more accurate, more timely, more up-to-date, more factual. We're just better. And of course, we've got some. I found this incredible person to follow on X. We're going to get into that later. But there is only one place to start. And we talk about it often on this show. We talk about our culture, the importance of Americana, the importance of us being out there, making sure that we're leading the way in this world, that liberty and freedom and meritocracy are the way to go, and not diversity, equity, and inclusion, where everybody gets the same amount and you never enhance or reward victory and accomplishment. And we got to start off with the Cracker Barrel. And I don't know if a lot of people are going to agree with this or I'm going to offend a lot of people, but how many more woke women do we need to put in charge of established American companies to have them just burn it to the ground? If anybody's seen what Cracker Barrel is doing, they are ripping out everything that company's built over the last 60 years and just trashing it. And these woke morons who are in charge of Cracker Barrel don't even know the difference between a shepherd's pie and a cottage pie. Do you? I do. Shepherd's pie is lamb or mutton. Cottage pie is beef. We'll get back to that in a minute. But we got to start with this quote unquote Cracker Barrel rebranding. And it's an absolute disaster. Everybody is in agreement that this is just horrible, that The new logo is absolutely lifeless, devoid of any character, completely takes away from the rustic mystique that we all go to Cracker Barrel for. We know the food's okay. You know, I might be a little bit tougher of a critic than some of y'all out there, but Cracker Barrel for me is like a 6. It is chain restaurant food that's slightly better. Put a little bit of MSG on there, it's good to go. But what Cracker Barrel has done with their new CEO, it is just completely taken a beautiful, iconic logo that is there's nothing traditional about that logo. It's got an odd shape. It's got odd colors. It's got a pencil stick drawing that is actually promoting its old country store. But here we go. And this is from ABC because Cracker Barrel decided to go to Good Morning America. Now, the CEO of Cracker Barrel, her name is Julie Fels Massiano, told GMA that they were rebranding. And how does ABC put it? Cracker Barrel has just made its way into the internet zeitgeist as the hybrid restaurant and country store has been rolling out its new redesigned interiors to mixed reviews. We've entered the internet zeitgeist. It's like they're trying to put in words to make it sound like they know what the hell they're talking about, but they don't. The overwhelming majority of people reacting to this has been negative. It's been horrible. I tried to find some that were rated PG, but and this is something that I really feel strongly about. If you can't talk about a subject without cursing, then maybe you need to up your game a little bit. And I know some people, that's their shtick. But if you can't sit there and constructively break down why you support or not support a certain topic, then you need to get better. Anyways, here it is, said CEO.
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers.
Wait, she's going to give you another soundbite. What did we say about Democrats? Slogans and sound bites, no solutions. And this chick is definitely a Democrat.
Bring them together and every other year. And the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our
Michael Strahan sitting there looking at that going like, lady, you're crazy. Everybody's telling us this new logo and remodel is an absolute disaster. He doesn't even want to be there, but he's getting paid.
Customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant. So we're doing everything for our guests and our team members.
Well, Julie Massino is one.
He just wants out. He just wants out.
Wonderful to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you for answering those questions for all the Cracker Barrel fans out there. There's a lot of great changes.
Thank you.
He doesn't want anything to do with that. It's as people are saying, the logo is depressing. It just takes everything away. And I might have gotten rid of the menu. I hope I didn't. But it looks like I did. But one of the new menu items is a shepherd's pie, they're calling it, with casserole on top. And you want to know what? The food there for a chain restaurant is pretty good. But they've put in all this research. Cracker Barrel, a multi-billion-dollar company, you would think they would be able to get these things right, but they don't. And it's the same lesson being learned over and over again. And I don't know if this is a Gen X problem, because technically we're all Gen Xers that are in control of these companies that are doing these things, and we're just not paying attention to what's going on. Or is it us just trying to be keeping up with the millennials and the Zoomies, or the Zoomers, whatever you want to call them? It's tragic because we're about to lose another major company to wokeism. But this isn't the only company that is going woke or going broke, you have Harley Davidson. They're absolutely crashing right now because of their woke CEO, who's a dude, by the way. We're equal opportunity offenders here at the Andrew Gosser Show. You've got the CEO of Target who was just, quote unquote, let go the other day. People say he was fired. Some people say he stepped down. But that's what seems to happen with these woke CEOs. They never get fired. They just get put on leave. They just get turned away. They take an incredibly profitable company like Harley Davidson or Target, make it woke, make it lame, and ruin it. I did try to find some Cartman audio of that, but I just couldn't find anything without any cuss words in it. So sorry, no South Park. But I did try. I did make the effort, ladies and gentlemen. There are other companies out there that have gone woke and ended up crashing their companies. And we've got some sound bites for them, but I don't even want to start it in this segment because we are going to go hard at these female leftists who are getting put into positions because of DEI and then destroying their brand. And we're going to play the sound clips. We're going to show the evidence, and we're going to show everybody that even here in Mississippi, we see what's going on. And I know for those on the right, you're going to agree with me. Those of you on the left, I'm just firing you up. But those of you who are in the sensible middle, just stay tuned, continue to listen, and then make your own opinion. But I'm here to tell you that when you see the pattern of behavior that the left is going at, and here's the thing, they don't even care if they're killing their company. They just know that they're getting rid of tradition. They're getting rid of meritocracy and Americanism for the coming generations. They play the long game. We're often going here on the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9. We will be right back. Quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Hi, it's Jackson author Jeff Pettigo, and I've written a satirical novel you should read called City Zoo, an Unfairy Story, a witty Orwellian animal fable about the lying fake news media. What happens is a former circus elephant runs for animal zookeeper, and all the monkeys in the zoo's fairy tale news media go crazy trying to take him out. Sounds familiar. It's the perfect pop culture satire for the beach. Learn more about the novel City Zoo at cityzoo.us. cityzoo.us.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
I would buy her the moon if I could, but I've got to stick to my budget. John and Corey, how can I afford the diamond she really wants.
You know, I think you'll be genuinely surprised by how much diamond you can afford at Juniker Jewelry Company.
Because here you will find 10 times the diamonds and engagement rings of average jewelry stores.
And the true diamond experts to help you put it all together.
The diamond engagement ring of her dreams is right here, right now at Juniker Jewelry Company.
And with multiple financing options and good credit, it can be remarkably affordable.
We even have diamond engagement rings complete with your choice of center diamonds, starting at under $2,000. So, what are you waiting for?
Go ahead. Give her the moon.
We make it easy at Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. From anywhere in Mississippi, we're at 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and online at junikerjewelry.com. Juniker Jewelry, because love can't wait.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Tools, paint, mowers, equipment parts, service, and rentals are all under one roof at Hometown Hardware in Flora. Hometown Hardware has what you need and professional staff to steer you in the right direction. Hometown Hardware carries top brands like Hustler, Steel, and Milwaukee. Hometown Hardware even has a full lumber yard, paint matching, pool water testing, propane filling, key cutting, and much more. Hometown Hardware, Highway 49 in Flora.
And we are back here at the Andrew Gasser Show on 103.9 WYAB. The Rumble stream went down, so I rebooted it. So tune back into Rumble. We'll be there. We appreciate it. Look, if you're not following me on X, would you please follow me on X? It's just at Andrew Gasser or at Andrew Gasser, ANDREWGASSER. I know it's pronounced Gasser, but it's spelled Gasser, and you won't offend me if you call me that. I've been in the military for a long time. I've been called a lot worse. Shout out to my team and the official football team of the Andrew Gasser Show, the Arsenal. We got our man in Eberiche Eze. It's soccer for all you Yanks. It's a great day to be an Arsenal fan. Tottenham, you'll always be second best. But we were talking about the crazy women who have infiltrated into all of the great American companies and are slowly, or not so slowly, completely augering them into the ground. And the next one we got to talk about is Disney. And I'm going to play some clips here that were posted back in 2022, but they're still relevant today. But this is what the liberals were thinking back in 2022, and think about how far they've infiltrated into our culture. It's not like we want them there. And when we find out about it, we definitely, turn our heads and rebuke them. And they all of a sudden look astonished and shocked. Oh my gosh, you're thinking that? Well, we never knew. This is Carrie Burke, Disney corporate president, Kamala's best friend, who set up that debate to make Kamala look good and President Trump look bad. This is her. And this is a 47-second clown sound bit. She is a clown. But just listen to what she was saying.
Company. When I was at Freeform, it was very much in the brand ethos of Freeform to be the tip of the spear when it comes to inclusion. And we, like you, LaToya, I mean, we jumped up and down. We celebrated that. Nobody stopped us. And it felt great. And in part, I think nobody stopped us because we were, we were targeting Gen Z and millennials. We were targeting a younger, I think more open-minded, and now we know, as my son texted me this morning, Gen Z is 30 to 40% queer than the other generation's mom. So Disney better get with it.
There you go. 2022. Is Gen Z really more queer, or have they just not been taught? Have they not been educated? Have they been, quote unquote, groomed an entire generation? And this is Disney. You know, when Disney came on, when we were growing up, everybody gathered around to watch Disney, whatever it was. Not today. Now they are specifically targeting your kids to go out there and turn into be queer, transgender, LGBTQ agenda. But oh no, it's not just her. This is Latoya Ravenue. And she is going hard into the paint, so to speak. And I realize this is a little bit longer clip. But again, if you don't have the tools, and I know when I was talking to some friends last night and I was sharing these clips, they're like, Andy, I never heard that before. And I'm sitting here thinking, raw, you got to be kidding me. And there's a lot of friends at church. They're like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, here you go. Still getting that Disney Plus Hulu subscription. Disney is fooled around, and now they are finding out slowly.
Disney's content. I grew up watching, all of the classics. They have been a huge, informative part of my life. But at the same time, I worked at small studios most of my career, and I'd heard, you hear whispers. I'd heard things like, oh, they won't let you show this at a Disney show. And I'm like, okay. So I was a little sus when I started. But then my experience was bafflingly the opposite of what I had heard. On my little pocket of Proud Family Disney TVA, the showrunners were super welcoming. Meredith Roberts and our leadership over there has been so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda. And so I feel like
Disney's not secret gay agenda. And then you wonder why Florida completely flips out on Disney. And why they pass the Parental Rights Act in Florida. I won't even say what the Disney was calling it, because it was never that. It's just you don't talk about that kind of stuff. You don't indoctrinate your children into that. But not Disney. And if you look at what's happened to Disney over the years, you look at what's happened to Marvel and how they've only had 2 successful movies out of their last 12. And both of those movies, one just barely broke even, and the other one definitely didn't follow Reimagine Tomorrow, which is what this whole program is. And by the way, people are asking, where did I get these sound bites from? Christopher Rufo on X, at Real Chris Rufo, RealChrisRufo. And I knew Chris posted these, but I wouldn't have found this without WDW Pro and in his X account. Highly valuable or worth it to follow him. Is it just at Real WDW Pro? And great accounts to follow. Let's finish up this lady here, and then we're really going to dive into this.
I felt like it was, maybe it was that way in the past, but I guess something must have happened in the last, they are turning it around, they're going hard. And then all that momentum that I felt, that sense of, I don't have to be afraid to let's have these 2 characters kiss. Let's in the background.
What she's talking about is the Star Wars movie that completely flopped, where there were the 2 lesbians in the background kissing because the rebellion, quote unquote, won. That's what she's talking about.
So I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to if you see anything queer in the show, I'm Proud Family. But I just was no one would stop me, and no one was trying to stop me. It's
how about that? They were adding queerness. What does queerness got to do with Star Wars? Nothing. And don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been around watching Star Wars since 1978. Been watching it for a long time. I can't ever remember anything being queer in any of those Star Wars movie. The original New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. There was nothing there. It was just great storytelling. But these crazy feminazis get in there, and all of a sudden, all they want to do is hypersexualize everything. They want to sexualize not their own kids. Well, they sexualize their own kids, but they want to sexualize your kids too. That's truly maniacal and evil stuff. And I know I'm going to go down a cultural tangent with movies and everything, but it's important that we understand this. None of this hypersexual LGBTQ agenda came in to Star Wars until Kathleen Kennedy in 2012, when Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas for $4.2 billion. And George Lucas called Disney white slave laborers. Don't believe me? Go Google it. George Lucas calling Disney white slavers. That's what he did. And what did she do? The first thing she did, she came out and said the Force is female. The Force is what? The Force isn't female. The Force isn't male. The Force, it's the Force. And the only thing being forced right now is this LGBTQ left-wing crazy agenda down America and the world's throat. And these women are on a mission. And it's not a mission to rescue. It's not a mission to help. It's to search, destroy, massacre, wreck, and otherwise ruin everything they touch and put their hands on. But we're not done yet. There are more stories out there to be told. This feminazi woke agenda, we've got to be against it. We've got to fight for our traditional American values and everything that made this country great and awesome. And it doesn't mean that we get everything right all the time. We're all flawed. But what this agenda is doing to America, if we don't stop it, we're going to lose it. Like President Reagan said, we're only one generation away from losing our freedom, and we are pretty close. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
.1039 WYAB.
Fox News commentary.
A biological female uses the boys' locker room, and now 2 boys are allegedly suspended over it. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
I'm alpine skier Michaela Schifrin. I've won the most World Cup ski races in history. But what does success mean to me? Success means discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us. And it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management firms in the country. If you're looking for success, surround yourself with the people who will get you there. If you're an advisor or investor, choose Stifel, where success meets success.
Stifel Nicolaus & Company Incorporated. Member SIPC and NYSE. Past performance is no indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
Biological female, who identifies as male, was allegedly using the boys' locker room at a Loudoun County high school in Virginia. 2 teen boys in the locker room were captured on video, which is against the rules, questioning why a girl was in their locker room. And now, according to their attorney, those teen boys are being suspended over it. Their attorney said the teen boys are being held responsible for sexual harassment and sex-based discrimination by the Loudoun County Public Schools. Now, the school has not commented on this publicly, but the boys' lawyer claims they're not only being suspended, they're also not allowed to be in contact or in class with the complainant and must meet with the school administration to determine a corrective plan. You know, at Outkick, we fight for women's sports and spaces, but we also fight for men and their spaces as well. Let's return to common sense. I'm Tommy Lahren, and you can watch my show, Tommy Lahren is Fearless, at Outkick.com.
If you've had an accident, remember Clinton Body Shop. We work for you, not your insurance company. Don't be misled by someone telling you that you will have to pay more than your deductible. Our shops hold multiple certifications from the makers of today's vehicles. We are the longest running ICAR Gold Class certified repair facility in.
Hey, real quick while we're in commercial break, I just want to thank everybody who's listening in on the stream. We'd really appreciate it if you retweeted it, liked it, maybe put a comment in there to get the engagement up. It would mean a lot to me. I'm really grateful and thankful for you all. We'll be right back.
The way the roofing industry operates and is perceived. A leader in commercial and residential roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. Malone means the highest quality materials delivered with expertise workmanship from a claim or construction. At Malone, you found your roofing and metal walls partner. Malone has proven for generations there is nothing we can't accomplish. Protecting people and what matters to you. More info at ecmalone.com.
It's time to put a little more sizzle in your red-hot Mississippi summer at Mazda of Jackson. Drive away on your road trip with a boost from Mazda of Jackson's $1,000 off owner loyalty reward and low 1.9% financing on a 2025 CX-90, CX-70, and the Assembled in America CX-50. And take advantage of the pre-tariff inventory before it's gone. It's time to choose Mazda. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
Friday night lights, family, and a hot Johnny's Pizza House pizza on the table. Now, that's our kind of hustle. Make it a sweep the kitchen and bring everyone together. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice. Here in the South, we keep our football loud and our pizza loaded. Grab a Johnny's Pizza House, sweep the kitchen, and cheer on your hometown team. Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice.
Hi, this is Mary Beth Hardy, owner of Flora Pharmacy. Flora Pharmacy is proud to be locally owned and operated. We believe in the power of community and personalized care. At Flora Pharmacy, we treat you like family. And for your convenience, we offer curbside service and prescription home delivery. Just pull up and we'll bring your prescriptions right to you. Can't make it to our store? Flora Pharmacy will drive it to your doorstep. Come see the best pharmacy in town today at Flora Pharmacy, where care meets convenience. Highway 49 in Flora.
And we are back on the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We're rocking and rolling. Texters are coming in saying that a lot of them have already canceled Disney, and some of them didn't even know about Cracker Barrel. Well, let's talk about the biggest get woke, go broke story of them all. And we have to talk about it because, again, if I just come out here and say it's female CEO, woke CEOs who are doing it, and I don't bring the receipts, well, then I'm losing credibility. And sometimes people need to be reminded, especially you on the left, because especially you are the ones who are causing all this chaos and madness in our culture. It's not the right. Now, if you go, and this is the other part of this that made me feel even more passionately about spending as much time as I am on this, is because when I tried to go out and search on the internet and you even use AI, everything was blocked. You had to really get specific on your searches. I would search for woke CEO this, and it would not come back with any results. It would say that you're asking an opinionated question. I don't want AI's opinion. I just want the information. And honestly, I was kind of upset last night. I spent a lot more time looking for sound clips and stuff that I knew existed, but the AI in Google tried to tell me it didn't exist. Well, Google, you might not want me to play this, but this is, and I want to get her name, like Alyssa Heiderschneid. Remember her sitting in her kitchen doing a Zoom, telling us all what we should drink and what we should think? If not, here you go. And I have absolutely no shame in playing this.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear.
Oh, you're a businesswoman? How are you a woman? What is a woman? Can you tell me what a woman is? Ketanji Brown Jackson can't. She's a Supreme Court justice, but you are? Not even 2 seconds in, and I'm fired up.
Job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was
to run it into the ground and destroy Anheuser-Busch and the Clydesdales and the frogs. You sick, demented woman.
This brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do,
it was the #1 beer in America. I'm not even a beer drinker, everybody. I like a little something, something. I'll get a Blue Moon every once in a while. And my favorite beer of all time is a beer out of Canada called Kokanee. If you know, you know. But you had the best market share. You had it all going for you. But what did you have to do? You had to put a chick in it. You had to make it gay. And you had to make it lame.
do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light.
It was the #1 beer bought on college campus. Last time I checked, most college campus students were young.
So I had this super clear mandate. It's like we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought.
I'm glad she admitted it was iconic. But again, you're using buzzwords and catchphrases, slogans, elevate. No, you're full of it.
To that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone.
There you go. It means DEI hot garbage. That's what it means.
It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women.
Seriously, I know there are dudes out there and ladies out there who put down some beers over the weekend. When you're drinking a beer, do you think about inclusivity? Are you thinking, oh, if I drink this beer, it's going to make me more special? I don't know. But I've never picked up an alcoholic drink and said, this is going to make me more special. I'm drinking a Bud Light or a little something, something. Never. Who are these people? They don't exist in the real world.
And to men. And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect.
Representation's at the heart of evolution. You can't reproduce if you're gay. Let's take a phone call. Caller, go ahead. You're on the air.
Andrew, this is Steve.
Hey, Steve.
I've been listening to you and proud of you picking up where Jameson left off. And you guys, do a tremendous job on a conservative point of view. And I'm a conservative myself.
Thank you.
But this stuff that's attacking our beliefs and our faith and our strong patriotism in this country is the devil's enjoying it. The DEI is exactly what that means. Devil's enjoying it. So these people that do this DEI baloney,
yep,
they're following the devil, or they got a reprobate mind. The Lord promises He'll do that. It's biblical. It's just, we need to pray for these people as a country. We know they're lost as a goose. And the only one who can change the minds of these people, no media or anything like that is going to be able to do it. We just got to let the truth lay where the truth lies. And this false stuff that's leading people down the wrong path, I hope they make the right choices, buddy. But keep doing the good work you're doing.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
You got it, buddy. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was Brother Steve. And we will continue to do that. I really appreciate the comments. It is a biblical worldview. But here's the thing. We're not going to evolve. Well, we're not going to have anything to evolve if we don't promote natural reproduction. And we just talked about the story. It was either earlier this week or last week about how reproductive rates in the Western world are completely crashing. Why? DEI. Craziness like this woman right here. And I'm going to continue on this rant because I am going somewhere with this. I promise you, Mom. I know you're listening. flipping a gasket, but it is what it is.
Reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor. And
Really? I thought the reputation of Bud Light was cheap light beer that tasted somewhat decent. That's by opinion, by the way, and was cheap. That's what Bud Light's reputation was. Remember Bud Bowls back in the day, the Budweiser commercials during the Super Bowl? Who was excited to go see that? And Bud Light came on to be the quarterback for the one side and changed the game. The Clydesdales, Americana. Who remembers that? Let's take another phone call. Let's see. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
Doing good. Hey, look, man, what I wanted to call and tell you was, one, we're actually in a civil war right now. May not be with weapons, everything like it was in the original Civil War, but we're in one now. Because the first Civil War in this country was basically two political parties in a pissing match with each other.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think we're doing nowadays? That's what we're doing nowadays. We're arguing over, I won't say stupid stuff, but, stuff that's, to be honest with you, it would satisfy me if the world ended today.
Hey, brother, you're breaking up. Do you have the window open or something? You're breaking up. We can't hear you.
No.
You're cutting out really bad. You want to try calling back real quick? Yeah, if you can, call back. If you can't, I'm sorry, but when you're cutting out like that, I can't keep rolling. But he's right. We are in a civil war, and it's not shooting guns or anything like that. It's over thought. And if you don't think like me, you're bad and evil. And we're going to use any means necessary to make you think like we think. And people are saying, Andrew, you must be talking about the right. No. You don't see the fire bombings coming from the right. You do not see. This was a great point that one of the texters made. And I don't know who unknown texter, but I'm going to read it right now. You never see the left violence be promoted on TV, but heaven forbid if there's somebody on the right who does something, then it's mainstream news. Yes, exactly. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And our biblical Christian values that got this country to where we were is now being pushed to the side. And now we expect that we're going to continue to ascend like we were without favor? Nope. No, we're not. And the truth of the matter is, I think God blessed women more than he blessed man. He created Eve, the giver of life. Man, we got a little something to do with it, but let's be honest, our wives do all the heavy lifting. And it's like women are just completely throwing that gift away. Let's finish this up real quick, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break.
it was really important that we had another approach. So
Yep. And your approach caused over $2 billion, well, more than $2 billion. I think it was like $7 billion at its peak. $1 billion market cap loss. You completely destroyed Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch. Clydesdales don't mean anything anymore. Those old Christmas commercials, Super Bowl commercials, the Budweiser, I literally like the Budweiser frogs, by the way. And what happened to her? She didn't even get fired. She was put on leave. Go Google Alyssa Heiner Schneid. You can't even find anything out about her unless you actually Google her name. And oh, by the way, she's been hired on by some follow-on company. I'm not here to hate on women. I'm here to hate on the thoughts that these women are injecting into our culture, and they've been given a very precious position where they can have a mass influence, and it's wrecked these companies, people's 401ks. We don't even talk about all the delivery drivers who lost their livelihood because of this crazy woman. And when we get back, we're going to listen to the crazy man. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
.1039 WYAB.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
I'm on a diet. I don't want to be down there at Tom's Fried Pies. We had a good time. When I tell you the crust was flaky, I'm talking about buttery. This was nothing like I've ever tasted. Ever. I mean, I've never tasted anything like that, man. It was nice. Atmosphere was nice. Everybody there was nice. Because I'll be back, even though I don't supposed to with my diet. I really enjoyed myself.
Tom'sFriedPies.com. Tom'sFriedPies.com.
Why should you choose Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating for all service or installation? Well, they purchase all parts directly from the manufacturer. All of their factory-trained technicians have been hand-selected for skill, work ethic, and experience. There are never any hidden fees or charges. Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating is dedicated to your complete satisfaction, and they're family-owned and operated. For residential and commercial service or installation, contact Ceramic Air Conditioning and Heating, 601-317-0729, or make an appointment through their Facebook page.
Whether new construction or remodeling, Stephen Arrington and his team at Elite Custom Construction can design and build your dream kitchen and cabinets, inside and outside. Using high-quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
Hello, WYAB listeners. My name is Rob Montgomery. I'm a minister in the Church of God, and I'm honored to be the regional overseer for the Church of God of Louisiana and Mississippi. I invite you to listen to my program, Arise Shine, on Sunday mornings, where I'll share the Lord's thoughts to my heart for you. Arise Shine will include Bible messages, encouraging thoughts, and a biblical view of current events. It's my hope that you'll be blessed.
Tune in to Arise Shine, Sunday mornings, 10:30 to 11.
Did you know that the average 6-room house collects 40 pounds of dust each year? Local business Pure Air Consultants duct cleaning service can rid your home of the dust, dirt, and debris that may be caught in your air ducts. They can eliminate the mold, fungi, and microbes that might be growing inside your ductwork and polluting the air you breathe in your home. Mention WYAB and receive a free UV light with system replacement. Visit online at mypureairconsultants.com. mypureairconsultants.com.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, yeah. The first hour, it goes by so quickly. Boom. And I didn't even get to play the man who was talking and dressing like a cross-dresser trying to shill Bud Light. But I'll tell you this, Dylan Mulvaney was paid $165,000 for that Bud Light commercial. And he did irreparable harm to Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light, and most importantly, the employees and share owners of Anheuser-Busch. He's fired, and you know, you really don't hear too much about Dylan Mulvaney anymore because his grift is done. His grift is gone. You know what? We need to play it, and we'll just talk about it a little more in the next hour.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I
Oh, my
got some
goodness.
Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness.
So here is clearly a dude in a dress with these long black velvet gloves on, like Madonna had back in the 80s. And he's got he's got 5 Bud Light cans in front of him. And now he's going to educate us like he knows what the heck's going on with March Madness.
And I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood.
Think about that. This man cross-dressing and LARPing as a woman for a year got to meet President Biden, by the way. Oh, I should pull up that sound quote too, just to remind all of my liberal friends that this is what you support. This is what the Democrat Party supports. And it's going to tie in next hour beautifully, I promise. But this is what they do.
And Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever.
Ever.
A can with my face on it.
Oh my God.
Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya.
That's just, dude, who made this decision? Think about it. Was it a guy? Is there any man out there that would promote this, would say, this is a good idea for our company? There is no man out there that would do such things. None. And the bottom line is that this is the cancer that is creeping and crawling through American business right now and academia. And if we don't do something about it, it's going to win. But we're out there. You're listening to Andrew Gosser's show on 103.9. We'll see you in about 8 minutes.
.1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. When President Trump was slapped with a huge penalty in his civil fraud case, he vowed action.
Will appeal, will be successful.
And CBS's Aaron Navarro reports today a New York appeals court has weighed in.
They found that the fine, quote, was excessive. The calculation of it, quote, was far from a reasonable approximation. We know that judges on that panel have previously questioned whether the New York Attorney General overstepped in bringing this case in the first place, though the New York Attorney General still has the option to appeal this, but definitely a big win in court right now for President Trump.
The calculation of that was around $500 million. CBS's Rob Marciano is on the Outer Banks of North Carolina keeping tabs on Hurricane Aaron.
After a week of waiting and watching, today's a day where Hurricane Aaron makes its closest approach to the U.S., and we've already seen that really about an hour or two ago. That's when the winds were the most fierce. That's when we saw tropical storm force winds. We're still getting gusts, obviously, and with the sea spray and some of the salt, it's not that fun. Rip currents are real bad, and obviously this is damaging surf.
Overseas, and new pressure on Israel.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. 21 nations, including Britain, Canada, and France, have condemned Israel's approval of a major settlement project in the West Bank as unacceptable and a violation of international law. And in a separate development, 27 nations, including Britain, Germany, and France, have called on Israel to allow, quote, immediate, independent foreign media access into Gaza as Israel's offensive in the Palestinian territory ramps up.
The Texas Senate votes later on a House-passed redistricting plan sent through by Republicans. In California, a response effort by Democrats. Blake Jones of Politico.
Democrats have more than a super majority in the legislature here, and they just need a 2/3 vote in both houses to pass it. We fully expect that's going to happen later this morning. The big question is going to be whether they can actually get this passed at the ballot on November 4th. And, we expect that is going to be a wildly expensive campaign, and it is definitely not a gimme.
A former top aide to New York City Mayor Eric Adams is among 7 people facing new charges in a corruption probe. And as we hear from CBS's Michael Wallace, an Adams campaign aide gave a reporter money stuffed in a potato chip bag.
The reporter for the city.nyc says she was covering an Adams re-election campaign event in Harlem when the mayor's former director of Asian Affairs, Winnie Greco, handed her the bag. Inside were a $100 bill and some 20s. She tried to give the money back and notified the city's Department of Investigation. Greco resigned from City Hall last year after the FBI raided her home as it investigated Adams' campaign fundraising.
This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-497-0593. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-497-0593. That's 800-497-0593. Tax Relief Advocates. Real
news and weather brought to you this hour by Flora Animal Hospital, where we treat your pets like our own. Visit our website, floraanimalhospital.com.
Blue lights and bright orange flames on a Jackson interstate. 92 is the expected high today, and you start the day with no heat advisory or warning. Afternoon storm chances at 50%. That's down to 20% tonight with a low at 72. Friday back up to 92 and a 30% chance for afternoon storms. You've got news on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis. A man who was being chased by Byram police up I-55 Wednesday morning just after midnight is now being identified at the Mississippi Crime Lab. His body burned when the 2019 Chevy Camaro he was in a wreck at the Elton Road Frontage Road intersection. That Camaro had been reported stolen, and Byram cops were chasing it down when they lost sight, and the next thing they saw was the car on fire. The Highway Patrol was called in to investigate. A tough blow for Grenada with the announcement the Domtar Resolute paper plant is shutting down in September, putting 160 people out of a job. The company says it's because demand for newsprint isn't what it used to be. The Greater Grenada Partnership says they are looking for more industry to help replace those jobs. Storm damage to the roof of one of the buildings at Parchman has forced the Department of Corrections to move some of the prisoners out of the damaged building. That happened Tuesday night, and they are working on fixing it. If you've been to the Vicksburg National Military Park and inside the roofless and reverberant Illinois Memorial, you know it needs work. That's the one built without a roof on purpose. The weather has gotten to it, and it will be closed starting September 2nd for a full workup from a contractor that could take a year and a cost of $5 million federal tax dollars. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of
Yes, you are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show. It is hour number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we're going to do the top of the hour read, but we got to start off with this breaking news. President Trump has just had his conviction of 34 felonies overturned. He will not have to pay the $500 million civil fraud penalty. It was thrown out by the appeals court. He told you this was going to happen. I love this time slot. I'm so grateful and thankful that I'm here to share it with y'all. This breaking news comes in and bam, we're on it right away. But real quick, let's go to the top of the hour intro. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. Today is Thursday, the 21st of August, 2025, and we are equipping the saints by streaming on Rumble, streaming on X, streaming on YouTube, streaming on that social media platform that begins with a F, but we don't like the word, and we're streaming at WYAB.com. And of course, we're blasting it out on 103.9 WYAB, the radio airwaves. We're grateful and thankful for everybody. If you want to be part of the program today, the number is 601-879-0002. The text line is 601-879-5060. And, I just want to wrap up with this Cracker Barrel thing before we're going to completely retool the show. We're going to continue to follow Cracker Barrel, the stock price from yesterday when this major announcement came on, where it's going, trends. There seems to be a real anger, or I don't want to call it anger outrage, because that's not what it is, but just so sad and disappointed in what Cracker Barrel did. And we're going to continue to follow that. And of course, Dylan Mulvaney is nowhere to be seen. Neither is Alyssa Heinerschneid. And that whole woke business, it's just going away. Will Bud Light ever recover? I don't know. But I know it's not nearly where it should be. Decades and decades of work just literally poured down the drain. But let's get back to it. This is from CNBC. A New York State appellate court on Thursday threw out more than $500 million in civil business fraud penalties imposed on President Trump and other defendants. The appeals court said that while injunctive relief by the trial judge in the case was well-crafted and to curb defendants' business culture at the Trump Organization, the monetary penalty, which directs the defendants to pay nearly $500 million to the state of New York, is an excessive fine that violates the 8th Amendment of the Constitution. Let's see. It talks about the judge. This is a total victory in the sham New York Attorney General case. After 5 years of hell, justice prevailed, wrote Eric Trump, along with his brother Donald Trump Jr. And there's all sorts of pundits and pontificators now piling on. It will be awesome to watch MS Now or MSNBC or MS Was or MS Dead in CNN and the other losers and how they cope with this. Think about this, all of you in the middle who weren't sure about Trump. You saw the 34 felony convictions. You're like, oh man, this guy must have done something bad. What did they do to you? Look at how the mainstream media and the Democrats tried to manipulate you. They twisted you. I mean, there's no other way. They manipulated you. Do you like being manipulated? I know I don't. This should have never gone to court. And this Judge Aragorn, or whatever the heck his name is, he needs to be disbarred and find himself. And that brings us on to Big Letitia James. Your day's coming. And I'm not saying that I'm going to revel in your misery, but I am going to report on it. Because what you did to the rule of law and to the American people is an affront. There are so many attorneys out there, both on the right and the left, who said what you were doing was wrong. You sat in that courtroom and you smirked. You're like, I got mine. I'm in charge now. And where's that getting you? Here is like the coup de grace, the French kiss. Everything that Letitia James accused Donald Trump of doing, she is now accused of. Except they've got the receipts, the real receipts for Letitia James, where none of this was happening with Donald J. Trump. Am I excited a little bit? Yeah, I am, because I genuinely felt like this would always come. And this is kind of like a good segue or sequitur into everything that we want to happen in the Epstein trial, all the corrupt CIA and FBI agents. We want to have perp walked, Clintons, Adam Schiffs. We want them perp walked. It takes time. If we were all looking at this and we were like, this should be thrown out, like we made that decision within a day or two. We're like, there's nothing here. And I watched that video yesterday of that girl saying like, and all of a sudden it's creeping into my speech. So I've got to stop that. So I will. But getting back to what I was saying, everything that they've accused Donald Trump of doing, Letitia James was doing. And it took a lot of time. But I'm telling you, the gears of justice grind slow. And I'm not giving up my hope on Pam Bondi and the DOJ. I'm not giving up hope on Dan Bongino at the FBI and Kash Patel. They're having to go through some stuff that's never had to been going through before in the history of America. We never would have thought this. We would have never thought this was possible. It never really clicked. But we do know now. And you get one shot at it. You get one bite at the apple. So you better make it your best bite. You better have everything lined up and strategic. And if you don't, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to lose everything that you wanted, and it's going to go away. Wisdom is so important. And when you make these decisions, you can't be rash. You must be wise. You must be deliberate and not rushed. It takes a bit of time. And I know, and I'm watching the messages come in right now. I know we want it, and we're excited for it, but it takes time. And this is just another great day for America. President Trump, not guilty, and we go on from here. And of course, everybody is freaking out. Everybody is complaining. Ground News is 35% left-leaning coverage and only 16% right coverage, and 49% is in the middle, which is great. It's kind of like a good distribution right there. Life is good. There are so much more to get to. So I'm opening up tab 2 now. Here we go. And we'll start off in the beginning. Oh, this is great news. So we've just had Trump's court case overturned. New data shows Republicans are outpacing Democrats in voter registration across 30 states. This is what they don't want to talk about. Remember at the beginning of the first hour, I was talking about how Democrats' positive poll ratings were somewhere between 9 and 30%. It's cratering. They're not trustworthy. Got a phone call here. Let's see what happens. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Yes, I just wanted to say how proud I am. Wasn't no surprise to me about them overturning that. I have a sister that lives in Michigan. I know she's very upset about this now. She hadn't called, but she most definitely called when they found him guilty. And I'm wondering, I said, well, I probably won't hear from her in a while now. But as far as I'm concerned, I said to Mr. Jameson and other people who always approach me about, he's a felon. He's a felon. I said, one thing, I said, I know of a man, I didn't know him personally, but 2 guys that were in prison for 30-some years for a crime that they didn't commit. And then all of a sudden I said, you would have called them a felon. I said, but after 20-some years or 30 years, something years, they found out they were not a felon. I said, the same thing going to happen to Mr. Trump. It won't take as long, but that's going to happen. And it's just a shame that people get so stirred up with hatred, with so much hatred, and don't have a reason for it, So that's all I have to say. God bless you all, okay?
Willie, it's always great hearing from you, my friend.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care. Willie's exactly right. And while Willie was sitting there talking, I was just looking at all my liberal friends and the meltdown that is going on. And I know I shouldn't be taking joy in it, but it is kind of fun to watch. It is a spectator sport in that sense. But getting back to it, between 2020 and 2024, the Democratic Party saw a decline of approximately 2.1 million registered voters across 30 states, while the Republican Party has experienced about a 2.4 million voter increase during that same time frame. So that's actually like a 2-to-1 increase, because they went down 2.1, we went up 2.4. So if you add those two together, that's 4.5 million vote swing right there. That is a lot of voters, ladies and gentlemen, and it's only getting better. This decline followed Democrats' 11-point registration advantage in 2020. Think about that. They had 11-point registration advantage, and now they're losing in states like Nevada, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and North Carolina. If all those states sound familiar, they should, because those are considered quote unquote battleground states. Do you remember back in the 2010s and the late 2000s, Ohio was a battleground state? Now, then it's Pennsylvania is a battleground state. And mark it down, write it down right now. It's 11/18 on the 21st of August, 2025. The next battleground state is New Jersey. Watch. We have a certain caller who says it's a great day to be a Democrat. I think it's a great day to be a Democrat today. Look at all of your positive successes, all that work that the Democrat Party put into getting Trump put on trial in New York, in Georgia, in Florida, the fake FBI raid, where we talked about those pictures where they had all those top secret, classified, secret, those pictures. That was all arranged by the FBI. This is proven. This isn't me speculating. You can go verify that was staged by the FBI. They had to admit it. And those cover sheets, in and of themselves, are not classified. I know. I used to work with them all the time. It's crazy what was portrayed and put to the American people, the amount of lies. And again, we do not like using mockery, ridicule, or otherwise bad-mouthing stuff. But this is exactly what the left did. They tried to mock and ridicule you if you thought that this was an inside job, if you thought this was fake. Don't mock me or ridicule me, because this is Operation Mockingbird being presented to you right now in a way that is clear and evident for everybody to see. No ridicule, no scorn, not making fun of you for thinking a certain way. I don't have to. You don't have to. Not only are you right, but you're in the right. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Whether new construction or remodeling, Stephen Arrington and his team at Elite Custom Construction can design and build your dream kitchen and cabinets, inside and outside. Using high-quality products, Elite Custom Construction specializes in cabinetry and intricate millwork. Established in 2011, licensed and insured, Elite Custom Construction is your solution to your next project. Call Stephen at 601-927-0552 or visit them online at elitecustomconstruction.net.
Have you noticed all these people acting like the sky is falling? All this tariff talk has folks real nervous, but at iGear Optical, we've got you covered. Our prices remain solid on all our quality products, while all other shops are raising prices. We are not. Come get a great pair of eyeglasses, computer glasses, or sunglasses that fit you, your lifestyle, and your budget every day at iGear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl, and on the web at iGearOptical.com.
Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Where do you stand in the pro-life community? If you're passionate about protecting the sanctity of life from fertilization to natural death, please join us at Pro-Life Mississippi as we make a difference and save lives right here in our own state. Pro-Life Mississippi is a community of individuals dedicated to equipping others to value all human life, including the preborn, those with disabilities, and the elderly. Our mission is simple: to provide unwavering support, education, and advocacy for the preborn, their families, and other vulnerable children and adults. If you're just starting your pro-life journey or you have been an advocate of life for many years, Pro-Life Mississippi needs your voice and talents to save lives in Mississippi. Together, we can make a difference in building a stronger pro-life Mississippi. Learn more about us at prolifems.org. That's prolifems.org. Be part of the community that celebrates each and every human life.
This ad is for all the guys who work hard and they expect their truck to do the same. At RPT Commercial, we have the accessories to help you on the job site. From names like Bedrock Flatbeds, WeatherGuard Toolboxes, Nap-High Service Bodies, ARE Camper Tops, Deck Storage Solutions, and so much more. Stop by our new store on Highway 80 in Pearl and check with our expert staff and see what they can do to make the job just a little bit easier on you. At RPT Commercial, trucks live here.
Seeing well plays a big role in helping you read well. That's why it's not a minute too soon for students of all ages to schedule an eye exam with Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates in Clinton and Richland. They can also help you with a great selection of frames, lenses, and contacts, all at affordable prices. See well, read well, do well. For all your back-to-school eye care needs, visit Optical 2000 Clinton and Richland. Optical-2000.com.
Stay in touch. Follow Optical 2000 on Facebook.
Welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. The number, if you want to call in, is 601-879-0002. The text line is open at 601-879-5060. And no, I won't let you down. And I mean, the news is just so wonderful today. I mean, there's a lot of really positive news going down. Not even touch the DC crime and how crime is plummeting in Washington, D.C. because law and order is being restored. And there's an account on X that y'all should be following. And I want to make sure I get it right. There's a guy out there who is recording all of these different interactions between the federal officers, the National Guard, and the DC Metro Police. And it's Nick Sortor. It's just at Nick Sortor, Nicksortor. Just short video clips, not worth playing on the radio because honestly, it's just filming interactions between residents, civilians, and police officers in the National Guard. But it's so awesome. It's so awesome to watch young kids, young teenagers, young skulls full of mush interacting with our National Guard, climbing all over Humvees, positive interactions between police and civilians, completely destroying the liberal Democrat rock gut garbage that gets forced down our throats every single day by the mainstream media. losers. Am I saying that bad things don't happen? Nope, they do. But it's not even close to what the mainstream media would have you believe. It's pretty awesome. People now are all walking around. Restaurants are starting. I reported the other day, restaurants ticking down. Well, they're ticking back up today. You have Pete Hegseth, Stephen Miller, and Vice President J.D. Vance walking around giving interviews, bantering with the protesters who are just completely losing their minds because they're losing and they don't have the monopoly on the mainstream media anymore. That's awesome. It's really incredible to see so many people smiling and actually walking around DC. I mean, when I was in DC in the early 2010s, it was nice. I didn't worry about too much. There were definitely places that we couldn't go and that we would not go. But overall, it was a nice place. And I'm not saying that everywhere in DC is having that downturn in crime. Ward 7, Ward 8, if you know, you know. That's still a really tough neighborhood. I don't know if they deployed the National Guard down there or if the National Guard is just taking care of the business district and the government district. Is Metro Police going into DC to take care of those areas? I don't know, but I do know that murders are down, crime is down, carjackings are down, car theft is down, and it's working. And in the meantime, the Justice Department is investigating the Metro DC Police over alleged fake crime data. The Trump Justice Department is investigating whether the Washington, D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department has manipulated crime data. President Trump appeared to confirm the probe and accused D.C. of providing fake crime numbers in order to create a false illusion of safety. And of course, the city officials have pushed back on the allegations, stating that violent crime has dropped almost 30% from this time last year. Well, we reported just a few days ago about how they suspended that one lieutenant for mismarking crime. You know, certain felonies are reportable as violent crime, and he would mark it to something else. And they suspended him. And of course, DC Councilwoman, I trust crime stats, chief investigating case of some possible discrepancies. Some possible discrepancies? Again, all you have to do is go to Twitter. I won't click on a lot of those videos just because while I don't mind hearing certain things in my own house, I definitely wouldn't want to put them over the WYAB airwaves. Brother Matt would be pretty upset with me, and I appreciate the job that I have. It's truly a blessing for me to be able to talk to you every day on the radio. But it's absolutely great. So not only do you have crime going down in DC, but now you have the Justice Department investigating the reporting of crime. And oh, by the way, remember that the DC Crime Lab wasn't even certified to validate evidence. I mean, it's like a football bat. It's just all messed up. I know what some of you were thinking right there. DC's got a lot of problems, and it's going to take more than 30 days. And will Congress reissue the National Guard deployment to DC? I honestly doubt it. I don't think Republicans have the chutzpah to do that. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I will happily admit it, but I just don't think it will. But we'll see. Let's take this phone call real quick. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Andrew, my man, what's the word?
Crime's down. Trump's convictions overturned. DEI on the run. Democrat voter registration on the down low. Republican registration's up. And New Jersey's now a battleground state. It's looking pretty bright over here.
Well, I tell you what I find funny. First of all, I think your jump drive was filled with nothing but Rush Limbaugh bumper music, and it sounds familiar to me.
Some of it is, some of it is not. But I did take homage to El Rushbo, and I will never run away from that. And
I know, right?
And in fact, when I go to the Capitol next week to watch the education summit, I will be wearing one of my new Rush Limbaugh No Boundaries ties. It'll be on the on the cam on Monday.
Sweet, sweet. So let me straight on this. So all of these lead in to shows like The View and whatever. They've always opened up with, we're talking about this convicted felon So they can no longer say that, right?
Nope. And there are even some attorneys out there that say that they might actually be held liable for that.
How about that? That'd be so nice. But I don't know. Did you see the news conference with the Boston mayor yesterday?
Mayor Wu, I believe is her name.
Yes. I thought maybe I was in a time warp and I'd seen a music video of Boy George and the Culture Club with them knuckleheads behind them with those sombreros and dancing around. I'm like, guys, y'all keep doing this. No wonder registration for voting swinging like it is. Oh, my soul.
You know what it is? Remember, there was some guy, I can't remember his name, but he said we had to illustrate absurdity by presenting more absurdity. Who was that?
Well, they got it, baby. They got it down. Because I looked at that. I mean, you know, when you go to the Mexican restaurant and you have a birthday and the guys break out the sombreros and the guitar.
Yep.
I thought I was at a Mexican restaurant when then people started dancing around playing. I was like, holy moly. But you know what? Y'all just keep doing it. It reminds me, and I used to love sport analogies, of a football team that knows how to run the football. They run traps, they run sweeps, they pull the guards, and then they run into a team that shuts their run game down.
Yep.
And instead of changing their offense and running the ball less and spreading it out and throwing it, they don't know how to do that, and they just keep running the ball. Well, baby, y'all just keep running the football because it's not working. But that's okay. Y'all keep running the football.
Yep, we'll run it right up the gut, too. We'll punch him right in the gut. Brother, I appreciate the phone call.
All right, buddy.
Yep. That's awesome. And, you know, I actually had the Mayor Wu soundbite from yesterday. And during the break, I am going to find it because this press conference that was just brought up was absolutely horrible. It was funny because the mariachi singer wasn't even that good. At least when you go to the Mexican restaurant, the mariachi band is authentic and they know how to sing. This was like terrible. It wasn't good. And I just sit there and I laugh at the left. If you can't laugh at this stuff, then you're going to drive yourself crazy. And you know, everybody at church always says, Andy, you're so enthusiastic. You're always an optimist. You have to be. You have to be an optimist because it's just so far out there. This is just stuff is so far beyond the pale. It's so far beyond the pale. You can't make this stuff up. You literally cannot make this stuff up. Look, we're going to take this break a little early so that way I can get the mariachi band singer fired up. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back. YAB, we will be right back.
103.9 WYAB.
Get the jump on the season at the #1 stop for all your boating and custom water sports needs, Smith Marine. Crest pontoons are here. Come experience luxury and style with a 90-day, no payment, no interest financing option with approved credit, plus a 1-year Seato membership, free cover, free Bimini top, and free inflatable tube. And these crests are pre-rigged with Suzuki motors and Suzuki's industry best warranty. Smith Marine also buys quality pre-owned boats with consignments and trade-ins on the res in Ridgeland and at smithmarinesales.com.
Everybody, hoo-hoo-yah.
Friday mornings are special here on 103.9 WYAB. That's when we hit the pause.
CBS News brief. A New York appeals court has tossed out the $500 million award in the Trump civil fraud case. Legal analyst Lori
Everybody,
Again, for Donald Trump and his organization, it doesn't completely clear them of the fraud, but it certainly takes away the financial punishments that the Court of Appeal thought was excessive.
Ocean City, Maryland's one of the many spots along the East Coast dealing with rough surf from Hurricane Aaron.
We think about rip currents now, it's all over the news. So that's like in the back of your mind. So I have 2 little boys, so I like constantly have to keep an eye on them because, you know, I see that every day, and it's kind of scary, actually.
Fire danger is high in the Southwest as the punishing heat wave continues to drag on. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti is in Los Angeles.
I spoke with Fire Captain Adam Van Gerpen, who's urging people to be on standby, have go bags, and be prepared.
Some places hitting the triple digits yet again. CBS News Brief. I'm Steve Kathan.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Benny Tate, president of the Congregational Methodist Church denomination in Florence, Mississippi, and the pastor of Rock Springs Church in Milner, Georgia, inviting you to attend one of our services this week. Find a church near you at cm-church.org and be sure and listen every Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. for our weekly program,
today,
Apples of Gold.
Because last week, Boston received a letter from the Attorney General of the United States on official letterhead from the federal government threatening to prosecute city officials and withhold federal funds unless we cooperate with carrying out mass deportations.
So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. TwoGunTactical.com, TwoGunTactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club.
My name is Terry Parkinson. I'm with the Madison County Co-op in Canton. Hunters, you know, we've got the deer food plot and attractants. The Madison County Co-op built a big following and then cultivated it over the years and try to be real competitive on our price and selections. What makes us what we are is you can come in the door, get your ticket and go to back, and we get you loaded and out of there. The Madison County Co-op in Canton, we're about a block southeast of the square. You want to get in there and get out, you come see us.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's is a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9, and we are the Uprising. They can't control us. They won't stop us. We'll just keep battling on and on. And you know what? It's just time. You know, we have to illustrate the absurd by playing the absurd. And here is Mayor Wu.
It's just time
of Boston.
You know, we have to.
And I want to make sure that I don't take her out of context. Somebody sit there and say that I'm taking her out of context. Nope, don't want that. Here we go.
Again, today, because last week, Boston received a letter from the Attorney General of the United States on official letterhead from the federal government threatening to prosecute city officials and withhold federal funds unless we cooperate with carrying out mass deportations. At a time when this federal administration is already causing so much fear and harm in our communities, these threats are serious and consequential. But our same communities have told me loud and clear that silence in the face of oppression is not an option.
Nope. So just get to it. You're digging into my valuable radio time, but I want to give you the full benefit of the doubt.
The U.S. Attorney General asked for a response by today. So here it is.
Yay! Yay, response.
Here is our response. Stop attacking our cities to hide your administration's failures.
Mayor Wu, who let all these illegal aliens into the country? It wasn't Trump. It was your party, the Democrats. It's a great day to be a Democrat. Who is it that are committing all of these crimes? Child trafficking, sex trafficking, human extortion, MS-13. It's the Democrat Party, not the Republicans, not Trump. It's a great day to be a Democrat. You are so completely detached from reality, you can't even see straight. You can't see the crime that's going on in your own city of Boston. I have extended family that lives in Boston and friends who retired there. And they even admitted, Andy, it's pretty bad. My goodness gracious, lovable me. And these are the leftist mayors, whether it be Mayor Wu of Boston, whether it be Mayor Bass of Los Angeles, or Mayor Eric Adams of New York, or the guy from Chicago. They are all completely detached from reality, and they have no. It's like, remember the movie The Fifth Element back in the 90s? And the president that comes in and like the whole world is blowing up and everything, and the president just gets on his communication device and just talks about how great everything's going, even though the world is descending into chaos. That's what these people are. They're caricatures of that. They have no real idea of what's going on in America, let alone their own cities. And they get cheered and they get the platitudes, but reality will come in and smack them in the face. Politically speaking, I'm not condoning any violence on anybody, but they're going to get walloped with the legal sanction. And you know that Attorney General Pam Bondi's like, just sit there going, noted. And the one thing I know it's a disappointment to this audience. We want our pound of flesh. They're ready for the perp walks. I get told about it all. In fact, I just had a texter. I want to make sure that I read this texter right. Leave it to the Republicans to figure out how to give that advantage away, talking about all the victories we just had, by not doing a thing to cut spending, eliminate foreign aid, cut off the Ukraine and Israel, and on and on and on. You know, the texter's got a point there. Republicans could parlay it better. And I don't think there's anybody in this audience who would disagree with that. But we are doing good stuff. And I'm not about to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I still, I might be in a league of my own where I think that the Republicans are going to come around and actually get some convictions. They'll get the perp walks. They'll be able to do all the different things that they're going to do. But it's not going to be on the timeline that we want. It's just not. Go into some local news real quick here. First meeting of the Mississippi House Education Freedom Select Committee is set. Remember I talked about it yesterday? Magnolia Tribune's got it today. This is Jeremy Pitari. I hope I said his name right. The first meeting of the Mississippi House Education Freedom Select Committee will feature two speakers, Dr. Lori Todd Smith and Dr. Lindsay Burke. It's going to be Monday, August 25th. Hey, that's my sister's birthday. I'm going to have to give my sister a call. At 1 p.m. at the state capitol. Yours truly will be there, God willing. And I plan to sit there and it says that the meeting will not be live streamed. I'm not planning on going and being a troublemaker or anything, but I do plan to attend the meeting, and I'll definitely report on what I find or and how I feel about what I've seen. It's going to be at room 113 at the state capitol at 1 p.m. And again, like I said, I'm grateful for Speaker White for tweeting it out yesterday, and I'm grateful for Magnolia Tribune for putting it out today. I hope those of you who are civically minded, who truly care about education in Mississippi, attend and see what's going on there. I don't know if there's going to be public speaking or not. I'm not planning to speak. I'm just planning to report on what the people are saying there. I have ideas, and if I'm asked, of course, I could give my opinion on something. That's not tough. But definitely hoping that some good stuff comes out of that. U.S. Secretary of Education makes 2 stops in Oxford. Linda McMahon. She's going and making the rounds. That's also coming out from there. And then, of course, everybody continues to talk about the appellate court throwing out Trump's convictions from the lower court, the civil penalties there. That's great news. In something that's not so good, the Mississippi State Department of Health has declared a public health emergency in response to rising infant mortality rates across the state. Babies are dying. And it's 9.7 deaths per 10,000. Over 3,527 babies have died before age 1 since 2014. That's a lot of babies. It makes me sad. It I never had to experience that, but I don't wish that on anyone. And you just hate to see it. It'll be interesting to see what the reports are. I know a few people who can look at the statistics, and we can look and break it all out, and maybe I talk about that next week sometime. But it is something that we need to worry about in Mississippi. Our food system, the more and more I go down this walk that I'm walking, the more and more I realize that the food that we eat probably not the best for us, and microplastics are a real thing. And people can sit there and shame me and ridicule me and mock me for saying those things, but I'm not going to back down from that. I truly believe that the amount of microplastics that we're ingesting, the chemicals that are in our food that we really don't know about. And look, we're all dependent on it. We're all dependent on the Kroger or the Walmart or the Sam's Club or the Kroger, or worse, the Dollar General or some of these smaller stores where it's all processed hot garbage. It's not good for us. And you can't tell me that the food deserts that are in predominantly black neighborhoods, let's be truthful about it, it it is a known fact that access to quality food is something that isn't really available in predominantly black neighborhoods. Why that is? Well, I'll let you figure that out on your own, but it's just a fact. It sure would be nice if, like, our Department of Education started glorifying and honoring kids who in the summer grow a real garden. Wouldn't that be awesome? Maybe get a grade for growing 500 pounds of tomatoes and 600 pounds of cucumbers, 500 heads of lettuce. Kingfish just walked in and he's shaking his head. No, no, no. Couple head of cattle, some sheep, a couple pigs. We're sitting there laughing. Look, we're going to take an early break. We'll see if Kingfish wants to come on for the crossover segment. You're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We will be right back.
Experience the future of wellness, Core Wellness and Recovery, just off Highland Colony in Ridgeland. Book now at corewellnessandrecovery.com.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Oh, yeah, it is the Andrew Gosser Show, and it's only in America and Mississippi. You know, the ruling just came down, and President Trump's fines have been overturned, but I may have been mistaken in that he wasn't necessarily acquitted. Brother Kingfish, you want to say something about that?
Well, it's a civil trial,
Yep.
so you're not acquitted in a civil, but this was brought by the Attorney General of New York.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at the Wall Street Journal story right now, and it says that, let me scroll down here. While much of Thursday's outcome was beneficial for Trump, parts of the case against him remain intact for now. And it was a 5-judge panel. 4 of them said the AG acted within her authority in bringing the case, period. So, okay, the charges, her case, the appeals court saying she could have done that.
Yep.
What they're really harping on is this penalty was just way out. They're really not so much slapping her down, slapping down the judge. And I think, and they also said that they could have some of the penalties, like the injunctions, keeping him from participating in the business, that they're going to leave that in place, so he can appeal that too.
So, in other words, the gears of justice will continue to slowly grind.
But the
and
big
turn
one
away.
is the $500,000 crap is now thrown out. Right?
Yeah,
that's thrown out.
That's great news for all of us.
I mean, even if you thought he was guilty, that was still way out of proportion to what it should have been. You know,
and one thing that if he does decide to appeal that other part, he's going to be able to use his tax returns from the following years to show that, look, I'm still claiming the valuation and everything.
This is why I didn't want him pardoned or anything, or pardon himself during the on his, I forget the DA's name, but anyway, his New York City convictions. Okay, because I'd rather see that. I think that on appeal they'll be thrown out.
I do too.
And if you do that, that says a lot more. I mean, it's like Anthony Fox. Okay, I mean, Tate could have pardoned him and all that stuff, but everybody would say, yeah, it was rigged. But then when the appeals court does it, they say, okay, trial court was out. The DA was out of line.
Yep.
Same thing.
And again, that takes so much time, and there's so many listeners out here who are ready to perp walk.
You just gotta be patient. You gotta wait for
it. And it's going to be a long wait. I'm telling you that. I think you're going to see this go back down to Judge Ergeron. He's going to slow roll it and try to cause Trump more legal fees, if nothing else. I mean, those fees that he was paying all those lawyers. Alina Habba, she was originally representing Trump in New York for that.
Oh, this is a pretty good slapdown.
Yeah. Well, it's
and this is not exactly, the appeals court is not exactly known as being conservative here either. Okay. I mean, so it's the people on his own team are saying you went too far.
Well, that's only going to bode well for President Trump.
Right.
So what's Judge Ergeron going to do with this? We don't know, but overall, I think it's a pretty good deal, and I'm excited. They could have been a lot worse. He could have lost, and then where would we be? But that's not the case. I'm just looking over here over any other stories. Really, the Trump story that broke in the second hour is completely
it's a big one.
Yep. It sure is. And people here talking in say, one unknown texter here says, I can't believe what Mayor Wu said. Is that actually real? Yes, that's real. That's not grok.
What's that?
The press conference that she held where she brought up the mariachi band and basically said to quit going after illegal aliens in Boston.
Someone had a great idea on one of the message boards I frequent, which was they ought to just let her declare her city to be a sanctuary city, like the only one in the country.
Oh,
and they'll get so overwhelmed.
Yeah, but think about that.
Let them choke on their own medicine.
Well, they've thought about that with like California on the West Coast, New York on the East Coast, and Illinois but then they're still going to go there. I mean, we got to get rid of them because they're still going to get.
That's like that idea of letting that Boston mayor go. Yeah, we're going to let you be the only sanctuary city in the country.
Well, or start. When we sent them all to Martha's Vineyard and they started dropping off the bus loads there, that was a great way to cure that, and that those are the types of solutions that we need to continue to go after. There was a meeting, I believe it was with Tate Reeves, if I'm not mistaken, with local ICE officials, and they were talking about the different things that were happening in Mississippi. They're not getting the public exposure.
No, there's a lot of it had to do with like finding kids that didn't have guardians or parents, traffic kids, things like that. I mean, and you're right, the media doesn't cover much of that.
Well, and I'm okay with that though, Kingfish, because I don't need to be sitting there basking in the glory of getting all these
Yeah, but I
people.
want it out there because it's also serves as somewhat of a deterrent too. Like, hey, we're coming after this, so
Absolutely, and we need to continue to go after it. And every so often, hey, we rescued 150 kids this week. We deported this many aliens. I'm okay with getting results and not headlines.
The only thing I don't like is they've come in here several times in Madison County, and when we've had people who were indicted for crimes, instead of letting them go through the criminal justice system, and they deserve prison. Make no mistake, they deserve prison. They would just grab them and deport them. Well, I'm sorry. I don't want, if you committed a serious crime here, I don't want you sitting back on the beach back home with your loved ones, having a nice margarita on the beach. Okay. I want you in prison.
Yep. Hey, let's continue that discussion tomorrow.
All right.
Because I'll produce for you tomorrow. If you're going to be here, you're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We'll see you in 46 hours.